Can we talk about the fucking Avengers Doomsday trailer? I want to talk about the Doomsday trailer. I've been dying to talk about the Doomsday trailer. And all of you guys keep ruining the stream with your Kmart internet. Okay, anyway. Now that I have that off my chest. This is actually like a super big deal, man. Look, I was a little checked out over the weekend, but I think the reality is like a lot of people probably don't believe this. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people probably don't believe this. Chat, what do you think? Do you think people believe this shit? Do people believe this shit? You know what I'm saying? All the shit. Doom trailer coming soon. A bunch of action with Doctor Doom. You're going to get a sympathetic character. His fucking body's broken and all that. Chat, do you think people even fucking believe that this is happening? Yeah, build your own. Oh, Adam. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. Do you think people even believe that this is happening? It's Elijah. It is okay, brother. It is okay. It's not you. It's me. I kind of believe it. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I believe it too. But what I'm saying is, I think this big crazy thing's about to happen. I think it's going to be impactful. And I think a lot of people don't think that it's going to. And I wonder too, because like, again, like, you know, it's not confirmed, but like Chris is very good. You know, Gore had the chair thing right before everybody. I have no reason to not believe this. Right. And if it is this, if that story's true, right, then when are people going to realize? You know what I mean? Is it just going to be a thing where it gets reported that Marvel's doing it, and even then people are like, okay, cool, I guess, like a teaser trailer? You know what I mean? Or is it literally going to be this thing where, like, people go to see Avatar, which I still believe is going to be a big movie? I'm a little bit, I don't know, man. The Avatar thing, Avatar does this every time. Which I guess was just the one time, really, because the first time it was like, oh, shit, Avatar. But the second time it was like, oh, it's been years. There's not a lot of buzz. Do people even like these movies? Like, it's fucking Ferngully. Like, what the fuck? And then it made like $1 bajillion, right? So I don't know. Maybe that's going to happen again. Maybe people actually will sleep on Avatar this time. I don't know. I wouldn't bet against Avatar, but I'm just not sure, right? The point being, though, is like, dude, are we about to enter a scenario? Like, I'm actually starting to think this might be what happened, where people have no idea and they go into the movie theater and fucking like Doctor Doom like puts his dick on the table. You know what I mean? And proverbial. You know what I mean? Like figurative, of course. But like people are like, holy shit! That could be cool. That could be, I wonder if they're going for that. I started to think about this when I was like, oh man, you know, look, things are changing. You know, the industry's changing. You know, media is changing. Social media is changing. It's really hard to know, and it's sort of hard to track what is going to catch on. You know what I mean? Like, what's the thing? Like, Minion, like a bunch of fucking young men. I almost called y'all a bunch of horrible shit. But just a bunch of, let's just say, a bunch of young, outstanding young American citizens, all dressed up in suits to go see the Minions movie. These motherfuckers can't go to a job interview, but they went to the Minions movie in suits. Okay? So the point is, like, you can never really predict how this kind of stuff happens, like what catches the vibe, right? But I'm starting to see some ingredients here. For something kind of crazy, for an actual cultural moment, for something that could be really fucking crazy. I wonder if that's what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Because it so defies conventional wisdom to do something like this, to go this hard on a trailer, if this is really what they're saying. And like, what if it is like a full 3 minutes, even if it's just 2 minutes? Like, this could really be wild. I'm starting to think, like, man, what if we got a bunch of people like doing out the theater reactions to a trailer? What if we got a bunch of people recording themselves inside a movie theater for a trailer? You know what I mean? Like, what if... Are they trying... Do you think, chat, just be honest with me, do you think that that's what they're trying to do? Because either way, it seems like they're trying to sort of establish a moment, change the narrative for sure, right? But I almost feel like they're taking the opportunity, which is going to be the first look at Doomsday, which is always a big deal. First look, inherently very interesting, you know? I'm starting to think that, like, they could be taking that and turning it into something where people are going to be like, holy fucking shit, you know? Kind of interesting. Spine rip in the trailer. If they go for, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys want a spine rip in the trailer? So just tell me, do you want a spine rip in the trailer? You're letting your love for Doom carry you away? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Okay? It's the den of nerds. Not the den of well-reasoned fucking takes. Holy, a Kane spine rip? That would be crazy. What if it's a Captain Marvel spine rip? You know? Brie Larson's like, that felt like a personal attack. You know? And then, like, he puts the symbol on his... Shit. Could be crazy. That's going to be saved for the opening of the movie. Yeah, maybe. They should drop the trailer with the Tesla Roadster reveal. I heard it can fly. You should buy one, Josh. Put a nerd logo on it. What if I already had one on pre-order? Now, that is actually kind of interesting. That's a totally different thing. But, like, dude, if he really made... You guys know... Well, some of you know because you've watched the channel a lot. I'm not a big fan of Elon, especially over the past couple of years, let's say. But if he actually brings us flying cars, that would be really cool. You know what I mean? It's hard to be mad at flying cars. Imagine they show the start of the spine rip and then fade to black. Yeah, something like that could be cool. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That could be cool. I actually think this could really kick off something special here. You know what I mean? I released a video about this earlier this morning. But if you think about it, guys, they've been filming this movie since, May or something, April, May, June, somewhere around there. And by the way, when I say that, I mean like main principal photography. They were there. They were filming all sorts of stuff. They were doing all sorts of testing. All sorts of filming had been done prior to all of that. And so they were filming this thing for like 5 months when they delayed it, and then they just kept filming. So this movie, like, I know there have been some problems with the film for sure, right? I mean, Snyder's reported on it. We've heard things. There was all the beef and stuff. Remember John Roca kind of got into it a little bit. So there have been issues, and I think there's always issues on a movie set, and when you have this many working parts, of course, there's going to be issues. 100%, right? But at the same time, they've been filming and spending hundreds of millions of dollars for long time this year, okay? And I say all of that to say, like, dude, they gotta have some shit to show, brother. I personally heard they had shit to go for the summer. That's what I heard. I heard they had shit ready to go for the summer. Okay? But they pulled out of Comic-Con and delayed the film basically around the same time, which is tough. But I think all of that thinking actually makes a lot of sense now. So when we saw the first trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine, guys, do you remember the first teaser trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine? It was huge. A Super Bowl trailer, close to 200 million people watched it or whatever, right? But the thing about that trailer was it didn't even have finished VFX. It wasn't even properly color corrected. In fact, for months and months, all the marketing material for Deadpool and Wolverine kind of looked shitty. Like, it was not finished. It wasn't color graded. It looked very fucking bland. It was kind of bad, to be honest. And then they color corrected it about a month and a half out. All the trailers snapped into place, and like the movie itself looks so much better than those early trailers, right? But Marvel will not have to do that. At least I don't think they'll have to do that with Doomsday, because they've been working on it for so long. And I think they've locked some of the big VFX shots. Like, we just heard this crazy fucking rumor of like Namor actually being a boss and like riding a goddamn Kraken or some shit, and you know, doing some actual Atlantean like Namor shit from the comics, which would be super cool. But that's a huge sequence. You probably start to build the models and the wireframes and all that shit like months and months and months ago. It could be fully rendered by now. It could be like crystal clear, fully rendered, if it's still in the film. So this Doomsday trailer has the potential to, I think, really blow motherfuckers away, because it has the potential to have like super clean, borderline finished VFX for Doctor Doom, but also all this incredibly ambitious stuff that the Russos wanted to cook up for Doomsday. It has the potential for X-Men stuff, Fantastic Four stuff. Like, dude, I don't know, guys. Like, do y'all remember the Super Bowl trailer with that Endgame trailer, where it had like the black and white with the red? It was super stylized, and it had like all of these shots from the older movies, and then it cracked into a whatever it takes kind of a situation. Y'all remember that kind of stuff? Or that very first Endgame trailer that showed Tony? Like, I just think that we could be on the precipice of a really cool moment within this space. You know, if you're a big nerd, and you know, especially like if you're a content creator that like basically covers Marvel, like, I don't know that it gets cooler than this, frankly. I don't know that it gets cooler than this. I don't know that it gets bigger than this. This feels absolutely incredible. So I'm excited. I hope it's true. What if it like never comes? What if it doesn't come out? I'm gonna be so fucking let down. I'm gonna be very, very upset. Jacob says, what's up? Been super busy moving and working. Haven't been around much, but Nerd Vengers for life. Hey, appreciate you, brother. No worries, man. Life takes us in different ways, my guy. That was not the Super Bowl trailer. Hell yeah. I hope they pick a good cinematic music. The music in the last Stranger Things trailer was terrible. Was it? I don't remember getting too hyped about that trailer. But I don't remember saying like, dude, that music's bad. Yeah, you want good music. I mean, Silvestri is cooking. I think we've heard some of the Doom theme, and the Fantastic Four theme is fire as well. So, yeah, I think we're in good hands with that shit. You ever play Arma? No, I don't know what that is, man. Josh, is James gonna be affected by whoever buys WB? And if so, DC actually getting rebooted a possibility? Yeah, it is. That's on my next. Well, we'll go to DC next. Let's go to DC next. Has there been any updates about DC? I don't think we have any new updates. I think it's still just being shopped around. I think that's just still just being shopped around. When do we get Spider-Man Noir? That's a good question. Hopefully we get a trailer by the end of the year, dude. That would be fire. That would be fire. Russos might be iffy with original films, but I trust them with their Marvel shit. Yeah, fair. You know, like, I went back and watched some of them. Like, I even watched like some of Gray Man and stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in there, but the issue with Gray Man is like every character acts like they have the swagger of Tony Stark, and yet none of it's earned because you don't know shit about them. So it all just feels kind of like a pale parody of Marvel swagger, Tony Stark swagger. But the action's incredible, the staging, like there's some really good stuff there. But yeah, maybe it could be the case that like they kind of need that Marvel juice. Like Marvel, like when you work within the Marvel library, it's a little earned. Like you don't actually have to sell the audience too hard on Frank Castle. Like just make him do some badass shit, and the audience is gonna be like, yeah, that's so Frank. Do you know what I mean? But if you don't have that, like, this is, by the way, this is a Rebel Moon. This is a Zack Snyder thing too. Okay, this is a Zack Snyder thing too. To be honest with you, this is, I think, the core issue of Rebel Moon. I think it's the core issue. 21 Bridges was solid. What's 21 Bridges? I've heard of that shit, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. All right, should we talk about DC? Should we talk about DC? So.